Okay. Once you have a location lined up, then it's time to move on to step 2. Find a target group.
Target group. You mean victims.
Potato, whatever. Anyway, it's not as easy as you think.
Welcome back to the harbor. I'm your host, the Kino Cowboy. I'm here with Boston Flasher, aka Casher, Sam, aka Maximus Simpus, and Pot Keith, aka Scott Keith, aka Scott the Expat.
It's me, Scottio.
Hey,
Look
better
like
than
the kid
fucking
from
Chris Pratt.
Mushroom Kingdom, here we come.
you look like the neighbor from Home Improvement.
Yeah. We're back with the holiday season, or I guess spooky season, or whatever people call it, Halloween. As long as you don't call it spoopy season, I guess, because then you'll have a horde of people calling you a fucking loser asshole. But unless you're a hot chick, then you can get away with it. Anyway, we're continuing. Last week was Beetlejuice. Now we're doing one me, Casher, and Scott haven't seen. It's called Behind the Mask. Brought to us here by Sam, who's our horror aficionado in the harbor canon. And just from the cover of it going in, I was like, what is this? Is this some fucking bullshit straight to DVD shitty fucking slasher movie? What is this? But Sam had a card up his sleeve, and instead it was a very entertaining, mostly funny film that breaks down every trope of the slasher genre, which for me comes very rewarding after I watched all the Friday the 13th movies, and Scream was always my favorite growing up, but I didn't get into like Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers. I didn't get into all that until I was an adult because I was kind of a sheltered kid. So I've had a lot of fun with watching slashers in my 20s, and now this is like a good way to bring it full circle with a lot of fun. So yeah.
It's a good introduction.
How'd you get into this movie?
I don't remember precisely, but I think it was back in like the mail-in Netflix era because it came out in 2006. So I'd seen it close to like when it came out. If it wasn't like 2006, it was like by 2009. I'd already seen most of the Saw movies at that point, and all the Texas Chainsaw Massacres, Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare, Leprechaun, everything. And then I had like found this at one point, pre like Cabin in the Woods and like the whole like meta satire shit we have now with like Scream and Halloween rebooting itself.
Well, this was like right on the like verge of where nerdom was becoming more popular.
Yeah,
because we had like this, and we had, what was the Neil Patrick Harris musical that came out?
Dr. Horrible.
Dr. Horrible Sing-Along Walk.
I do think if this would have came out like 3 or 4 years later, it would have probably been a bigger success up front than it is.
Yeah, it's just kind of like it. Like the thing is, it's just flown under the radar for like almost 15 years. Actually, over 15 years now, and it's just like, it's just one of those that like this time of the year, it's like I just one of those movies I recommend to everyone that like loves smart movies and loves stuff that tackles on tropes like you said, and just puts things on its ear, So,
but it also works well as a just a
in-genre thing.
As an in-genre thing, which it shows when it just, and it does this periodically, completely drops the documentary style, and it's like, and now we have like sets and lighting and an actual camera.
I think I was going to bring that up too, but I think that part just showcases how like smart Leslie is and how like pre-planned he is, because he gets everything accurately. Like what he says happens, and then it does, and it plays out like you said, like a normal movie, and very cinematically.
This switching from mockumentary style between that and regular, of course I'm going to be into that because that's what I fucking do with my movies. And
this movie ripped off of Moonman.
I've always been drawn to that style.
Leslie Vernon walked so Moonman could run.
What I was worried that it would be jarring to viewers, but seeing movies like this do it, it's like, okay, cool. Also, this movie walked so what we do in the shadows could run. That's what it reminded me of the most.
That and Cabin in the Woods for sure.
Yeah, but thankfully this isn't. If it would have been made in the late 2010s, early 2020s, this would be annoyingly winking at the camera meta.
Yes,
and it
that's
just
what,
wouldn't
like,
have the casual, funny charm it has at the
yeah.
beginning.
After you shared what you shared in the group chat about like the new Scooby Doo and like the whole like calling out like Warner Brothers shit like in the show, I'm like, you know, and they do that. Like, there's a new
Fucking
show.
lazy.
Yeah, there's a new show on Hulu where like they're shooting something for Hulu, and there's like Hulu, you know, actors playing like Hulu executives, and I'm like, yeah, rewatching it this time, I was like, this movie
Yeah.
would have been totally like bad
It
now.
could have been obnoxious.
Yeah, and it's not. It's not at all.
No,
And
it's fun because it's made out of a place of love for the genre. You can tell.
exactly.
Like there's it highlights the tropes, but it's out of reverence.
Yeah, and it's kind of like
not trying to appear smart.
Yeah, it's kind of like what Casher said about like putting it up there with stuff like Cabin in the Woods, because Cabin in the Woods comes from the same place, even though it's, I would say Cabin's like, you know, more satirically funny and more, I don't know, it's just like on a different level, but this is like more grounded, but it's also, you know, it's also aware of what it's doing. It works on so many layers. So
fucking
this is check the chat, by the way. The main chick in this is Kevin's one of Kevin's relatives from Home Alone.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit, that's where I know her from.
The one who speaks French.
Les Incompetents. Yeah, holy shit.
That's her.
Good for her. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because I was like this. I was wondering because she has a good performance. It's not just some, you know, low bit
thought.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm just saying like she has like a distinguished element to her character. I feel.
Yeah, she ends up being like the titular final girl practically.
I know, it's great. It's great. Yeah.
Which did you guys see that coming?
Yeah, I figured it would turn into them getting hunted by the guy. I assume.
The first time I saw it, no, but I mean I've seen it like so many times now. So, but it's still so executed well that I don't get bored with it. It's one of those that is still as good as it was the first time.
Oh, and the librarian chick was the medium from Poltergeist.
Oh
yeah.
So she's also from this thing that ruled my childhood during Halloween's back in 2006 to 2010. The Scariest Places in the World or whatever. It was on ABC Family, and she was the narrator.
Okay.
To scare the shit out of me.
I know what you're talking about.
Where they'd be like, the people here have all died mysterious deaths.
She gets that.
You're just like, who the fuck is this bitch? But no, that was a nice. I like seeing her and Robert Englund in this.
Yeah, Robert Englund, dude, fucking nice.
What I was gonna say is like I love that Robert Englund and Scott Wilson play like opposite the characters that
literally, yeah.
And they do it so fucking well. Like Scott has like, there's this one moment where they're leaving Scott's place, Scott Wilson, and he's like eyeing the camera, like he's not saying anything because Leslie and the girl are talking, but he's like eyeing the camera as like it gets out of frame. You're like, that's just menacing, and then surprisingly fucking Robert Englund is not horrifying. He's like convincingly good. So
yeah, I wonder how much he cost to get for that role.
That's the other thing too. It's like it was the director's first movie, and he lands like those three people: Zelda Rubenstein for appearance, Scott Wilson, and Robert Englund. So
the only fucking A-lister I got was fucking Sumner. So
but I like the lead, Nathan Baesel. Like I don't know if I've ever seen him in anything else, but he's so charming on his own. He's kind of like Mark Duplass in the Creep movies.
Yeah, he rides the line well.
Yeah, he's less demented than that, less obviously demented, but like once you realize like he's fully so charming that he's fully engaged like three people into like thinking he's not a killer, and then surprise he actually fucking is, like at an hour into the movie, and you're like, God damn, and they realize like it's real, shit hit the fucking fan.
Well, I thought they always knew he was a killer or something.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, they did.
It's a weird universe for sure, because like at the very start, like they rationalize and say that all those slasher people are real, which I fucking love, and he's got his own backstory and lore, and he's like trying to get on the same mythical level that they are. So it's just like a weird thing to like conceptualize that a documentary crew's
Oh no, I got what they were going for immediately, and I was in on it. But
as soon as they dropped that, like, oh yeah, Freddy and Jason and Michael Myers are all real in this universe, I was like, all right, bet I know what we're doing. I didn't really know it was a mockumentary until I pulled it up on Amazon and it said mockumentary.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? I was like, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, I like him a lot, and like 5 minutes in, I was like, man, I want to hang out with this guy in person. Like, he seems fun, because he's got a good energy to him. I don't know.
He seemed too quirky for my taste.
He
seems like a guy. He seems like a guy that you'd go and you'd get some like good food, and he'd look at it and be like, "Booyah!" and he'd be like,
"Yeah, I need more people like that in my life instead of fucking sad sacks like you."
Only turtle slang. I'm good.
Yeah.
Or he'd just be like doing jokes where he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm not a killer. Psych, yeah, I am." Like, it's really
is he a Ninja Turtle? Like, what is this?
That's what I'm saying. Like cowabunga shit. I don't know, man.
Is he very 90s?
It's like mid 2000s cool guys.
Oh,
yeah, dude, you gotta have one of these to be cool in 2006.
Oh, the soul patch.
Yeah, every fucking youth pastor had one.
Are those the cool guys?
Oh yeah, they were to me in my heart.
Then, yeah.
Hey,
Arkansas Dream Center, never forget.
Christian rapper and singer Toby Mac.
You heard me. I said the Arkansas Dream Center.
Bonafide Jesus freak.
Yeah,
Toby
dude.
Macaroni.
People at home in 9th grade, I used to be such a fan of DC Talk and Toby Mac that I had a shirt that said "Bonafide Jesus freak." Just so you know.
I had a shirt that actually 2 shirts. I had a shirt that had thumbs up on it and said who has 2 thumbs and loves Jesus. and then I had a shirt that was like a fucking guitar, and on the bottom just said Jesus rocks.
Oh my god, dude.
Retarded. I was wearing that shit in 9th grade to the library with a big ass flannel jacket.
Jesus doesn't want to come back to Earth if that's the crap he's gonna find.
I know, dude.
He's gonna come back and be like, there's like 13 Star Wars movies now, and like people wearing a Reese's shirt in the Reese's logo, but it says Jesus on it.
Or Mountain Dew. Oh, dude.
Mountain Dew. What does Mountain Dew say?
I don't remember. I've seen it a bunch. Or the Coca-Cola one too.
Coca-Cola. I look this up.
The pizza buffet here in Fort Smith is very evangelical, and on the back they have like praying hands to like a biblical pizza, and it says it's like Jesus loves this pizza basically.
Jesus approved fucking.
Yeah, I really want the shirt.
Jesus was Italian, man.
Yeah.
We should make a Pontius Pilate pizza shop. And it's all Roman themed. It's all Roman pizza. Dude, here's the thing. Jesus would probably hate pizza because he didn't like those Romans occupying the Jews, man.
Yeah, it's probably fair.
He was probably like, get rid of this pizza. Bring me some matzo ball soup, okay?
I mean, I don't think y'all watched it, but the Uncharted movie that came out this year, I think
I actually watched it.
Aren't they in like Italy in a scene and there's like a fucking Pizza Hut that they're in?
No, that's Barcelona.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair. But like,
yeah, it's blatant Papa John's, which Papa John's is in Spain. It was weird.
Like,
I mean, the only reason I saw that movie is just because, like,
really
I've been there.
Cool.
I could be like, I know that place. Like, yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
So, they had a good set piece at the end. The climax was kind of fun.
I watched that movie the day that the fucking shit in Ukraine started, and like my phone just kept going off about it. I was like, this is a lot more pressing than this fucking shitty ass Mark Wahlberg movie.
No, dude. We need unnecessary video game adaptations. It's the thing. This is totally off topic, but it's like the Last of Us show. It's like, is it just gonna be the video game's already so cinematic? So like, I don't know what you're gonna do to expand upon it other than
if you get far into the first one or hell into the second one, there's going to be some shifts happening that like obviously haven't taken place yet in the fucking show.
Yeah.
So
they're just making it because
especially-
people don't want to play video games.
There's like a major location change, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So-
there's a lot of stuff going on in those. That's why Hollywood needs to pick up my Tetris spec script.
Oh,
So,
is it live
right
action?
dude, we'll probably get to that point where like we run out of properties. We already had the Emoji movie. Why can't we do a fucking
Yeah, how
Tetris
long
movie?
until Mega 64 gets tapped?
No,
to do a
look.
fully
I've been
Tetris
saying
movie?
this for a while, but the Geico Gecko deserves a movie because that is damn good CGI in those fucking commercials. Like the Gecko looks fucking great.
No,
No,
what's
the
that
Gecko looks
fucking
fucking great.
Gecko video game character?
Gex?
Gex?
Gex. Now that's
He
a
was
movie.
meta.
Yeah, he was
Get
meta.
Dana Gould. No,
Yeah, he'd be
I wish
funny in
Gex
the
was a better
Deadpool.
game. I enjoyed it as a kid, but I can't play it now because I'm like I could be playing Mario 64 right now.
Yeah,
It's
because
way
he
better.
just fucking yells 90s jokes at you for fucking every fucking minute.
Well, also the draw distance in that game is really short. It's annoying, and the platform.
Where's my Leisure Suit Larry?
But what they
film
really need to
adaptation?
do is make a TV show out of the Geico cavemen
Yeah, they tried
or
that.
the progressive cavemen, whoever it was.
Yeah,
Those
the
Geico.
Geico caveman. I watched the pilot to that episode the night it came out. I was ready for it.
When are we gonna get an M&M's movie, like the damn M&M's commercial? Before
I'm
the
sick of
movie?
seeing that preview for the last 10 fucking years in front
It's
of the
been
movie.
longer, dude. I swear it's
Yeah.
been longer. It's been like 20 years.
And it's like
No.
it's cropped weird, and it's always like in 720p, and the audio is like not up to date, you know. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck, dude? But,
Anyway, back to the movie.
yeah.
The Leslie Vernon and movies we wish existed chat.
Yeah.
But
Um,
yeah, I like how they address the typical virgin stoner roles, and then at the end they're talking about rebirth and yonic and phallic imagery and meaning and shit. And it's like they dissect, because you've said it before, but like slasher movies are like turn your brain off, just mindless fun. Like, Jason and Takes Manhattan. Like no one's fucking like diving into like the subtext of what it means. But this movie like takes philosophical like shit, and like he says, it's like it's very the birth canal, the closet, sacred places and the womb and shit like that.
But
It's
even then, there's that. I've always got that with the phallic symbols I always got in horror movies. Like, okay, Halloween, you have
the knife.
Jamie Lee Curtis, she grips the knife, the version, da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
But what's the point? That's what I always kind of got. Is it just saying like women need to fuck to have power over men? Like,
They
I
need
don't
to empower
understand.
themselves with cock. Like
Yeah,
Leslie
like I
says.
don't arm yourself with cock. That's a
Yeah.
great line.
She's taking my weapon.
But that's the thing. I mean, you could argue some sort of harebrained feminist analysis, and that I know for a fact that there are academic papers on this, but
It appeals to
I
the
mean,
male
what's
fantasy.
the point at the end of
But
that? What's it
also,
really
like-
trying to say? Or is it just symbolism? Is it like Evangelion where there's just symbolism everywhere for no discernible purpose?
There's the fun part of that, of them poking fun of that, is way ahead of its time now that the whole trend these days is elevated art house horror.
Yeah.
Now we have a term for it, elevated, which people make fun of.
Stupid.
Midsummer, Hereditary.
Is elevated just another word for good?
Elevated is another word for art house or
Well, I
independent.
think
I guess.
it's because
I think the original Nightmare on Elm Street is a very smart movie.
I know,
Yeah.
but it's like in the 2000s there was just an influx of shitty, straight to VHS and DVD, crappy, schlocky horror that
And then
had very
spoofs
little,
that were just awful, like
very little substance at all. And so in the
like the scary
2010s
movie
came around,
sequels.
it's like, oh, we should make horror again, but make it
Good.
have subtext and have interesting filmmaking
Themes.
behind it and stuff. And then
Like
we
shit, like
got-
It Follows,
yeah, we got You're Next, and then like It Follows, and
and then A24 took off.
yeah, and then A24 came in, and they're like,
and then
"Here's some shit."
Bloomhouse came back and was like, let's just make standard horror
Yeah,
again.
Bloomhouse, well, they can be hit or miss, but
The
Blumhouse or Blumhouse?
Bloomhouse owns like the top of the
Whatever.
spectrum and the bottom of the spectrum at the same
Well,
time.
here's the thing. Like, I don't know. first of all, the whole idea of like, let's make a movie with subtext. I think most genres that would just be called making a movie. Nobody's like, let's make a drama with subtext. It's like, let's make a
I'm
good
just
drama.
saying, I didn't mean it like I meant like,
I know.
let's make a movie that actually has depth to it.
The thing is,
something.
The thing is, horror movies, like, they're the easiest to make. They're the cheapest to make, so they have to add something more to, you know, be remembered and to be effective. So
right, and that's, you know, one reason I don't that, and I didn't really grow up watching them, but horror movies to me is there's a lot of, I mean, there's a lot of crappy action movies too.
Oh yeah,
but it's a bit harder to make an action movie. I mean, I guess you can have like Steven Seagal with a plastic pistol sitting in a chair or whatever.
But with horror, you can just cover someone in fake blood and call them a zombie and
do a jump cut. The actors don't have to be that good. They just have to be able to like scream and look scared.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no monologues where they're like professing love or something.
Yeah. And one of the easiest human emotions to feel those fears. So it, you know, the idea to like get an audience, together in a crowded room and make them, you know, jump.
Well, that's an interesting thing about horror in this age, is that horror, we mentioned Blumhouse, is one of the few genres to survive the death of the movie theater because it still benefits from that communal experience. And then also, yes, it's cheap to make.
It's also one of those things, like horror has that, like, it's an event, like to go see a horror film with a full crowd, but then also turning the lights out and watching it by yourself. Horror works both fucking ways.
Right.
It does.
But also you got to worry about what crowd you're going to have, because
there are some horror crowds can be fucking insipid.
The crowd I had for Nope and the crowd I had for Men. Fuck that. Like,
for what? The second one?
Men. Alex Garland, 2022.
Yeah, okay. I didn't watch it.
I've also had
the crowd you had for Nope. Were they just like talking through it the whole time?
Yeah, the lady in front of me was questioning every goddamn thing that was on the screen, and then she was pointing to it too. Like, we're at the IMAX, like we can't fucking see what we're seeing at the fucking IMAX. Like, I don't know if she was like born the day before or if she had like amnesia.
She'd never seen a movie before.
I have no fucking clue. It's like she had
the whole time she was just like, "Why are there pictures on the wall?" Like that was, she didn't even understand the concept.
Like even at the very end when the credits were playing, she's like, "I don't understand what any of this means."
Maybe like, you shut the fuck up and listen.
Yeah, exactly. Just pay the fuck attention. And she was like talking to the guy next to her, and she was like pointing at like the fucking like songs in the credits. And she's like, "What's that mean?" And he's like, "It's the songs they played during the movie." I just felt bad for the dude. I was like, "Are you trying to hit that? Like, it's not working."
She must have
she has two fucking brain cells.
Good game,
like, fighting each other.
Why didn't you say anything?
Oh, I did, but it's fucking Shreveport. No one was going to do anything. They didn't leave. I told them to shut the fuck up. But
those stupid Cajuns, man.
Yeah, and I can't like get up and like ask them to kick them out because they're not going to fucking do that.
Dude, when I worked at the theater, one time we had someone call the 1-800 Cinemark number from within the theater auditorium
to report
something. Transfer to our theater, and then to the box office, and then told us to go take care of it. I was like, dude.
I mean, I really like. It was the worst experience I've ever had.
You probably more obnoxious fucking calling someone while people are trying to watch the movie than the person you're complaining about.
I thought about getting up and like asking the like projectionist to like pause the fucking movie and then like go get someone to like fucking kick them out or tell them to like shut the fuck up and then roll the movie back. Like, I spent money for 4 people to see that fucking movie, and it was a Jesus experience. It was awful.
Yeah. When I saw Women in Black, I think 2011 or 12 or something. It was in high school.
I think like 2000, yeah.
2013 maybe?
No, that was earlier.
It was like, you know, right around Deathly Hallows or right after it. And you gotta watch out for the PG-13 horrors, man.
The thing is, don't go see January horror or summer horror.
Right. It was
horror movies are only good. And besides that, horror movies are only good and they come out theatrically this time of the year. If you're seeing a movie that's been pushed back to fucking January, it's because the studio does not have faith in it.
Nah, I'd say most of the time, but sometimes you get bangers.
I don't know.
And then summer horror, is it just teenagers being annoying?
Summer horror, yeah, usually because fucking school's out and they're just
we had
hacking.
like 20 fucking teenagers in my show and just like get up and stomp down the stairs, go outside, come back in every like 5 minutes, dude. But thankfully, when I saw Hereditary, it was like the perfect audience, and everyone was fucking quiet and gripped with fear. And
I will say that like A24's horrors that pop out during the summer, totally worth it. But fucking spring.
My theater for Barbarian was great too, but I'll talk about that more on the Halloween special.
Yeah, my theater for Barbarian was just me and Cody Long.
I still haven't seen it. I haven't seen that.
Talking through the whole movie. You'd probably like it. Catcher, what'd you think of this movie? You're quiet. What'd you think of Behind Leslie Nielsen?
You mean Airplane 4?
Yeah.
No, I enjoyed the shit out of it. I'm sorry I'm not as talkative. I'm starting to get a fucking headache.
Yeah. Okay.
So I apologize. I'm listening actively.
Okay.
But no, I enjoyed the shit out of it. I was not expecting a mockumentary. I saw the poster and I was like, okay, I'm cool with some B movie slasher. Started out, I got PTSD flashbacks because the girl looks like too much from someone in my past. The main chick looks too close to someone in my past. So I was like, oh man, I'm not gonna like this just because of the way she looks. And then continued on with it after a few minutes of consoling myself and enjoyed it. I got done. This is definitely like an annual. This is probably like the most Halloween-y movie I've watched this season so far. Like new movie that I've watched.
Yeah,
it's definitely gonna be like an annual probably rewatch for me. I liked it.
Good.
Yeah, I love when movies have a ridiculous concept, but then make you take it seriously anyway. And by the end of it, you're like, how the fuck did I get here and take this so seriously? Because as soon as he sees her talking with the original final girl, he like flips a switch and like pushes her into the van and like talks to her very seriously. And suddenly the comedy's gone and you're like, oh shit, I'm actually invested in this and kind of creeped out by this guy. So
here's the thing. Did you, for the first half or 2/3 of the movie, were you actually kind of rooting for the slasher guy the whole time?
Oh, sure. Well, yeah, in this universe, it's like it's an art to be a slasher villain.
Well, and here's the thing.
I might be the only person in this that did not think that kid was as charismatic as you guys did. That guy seems like a dude that would annoy the motherfucking piss out of me. I genuinely didn't like him.
Well, I don't know. It was kind of like he almost had a point with there can be no good without evil. So he needs to be evil to bring out the good in people.
Yeah, fuck it. Let him kill some fucking dumbass teenagers.
Dude, that's world
I
over.
would say one of the scenes that cracked me up the most is when they went up there to see what was going on in the room because they thought that she was a virgin and she's just like fucking the dog shit out of that nerdy dude.
Yeah.
I laughed really, really, really fucking hard at that.
Yeah. I just like that.
She's on Shameless. Her name's Kate Miner.
Okay.
She's a really good actress.
I like that everything that Leslie Vernon says comes back around, and everything that like they put out in the front and the beginning of the film just comes back full force. It's just it's kind of like for like a first time like writer director, it's just he understands,
Oh, I'll tell you what really made me not like Leslie is whenever he did the very first start of like the killing, he does the brick at the door where he pulls it away and it shuts, and he's standing right there, and Kate, like the waitress, sees him and gets scared, and he goes up and he bows or he fist bumps and elbows both the dudes and then hugs the girl. I was like, that's fucking cringy. I was like, I don't like this guy.
Well, there's also that part where they're in the library and like the clearly older, camera crew is like talking about how hot the high school girl is. And like, yeah, she's 17.
Yeah, it's also very like 2000s kind of horror movie thing.
And the guy's supposed to be a creep, yeah.
Yeah, I like that you don't see either of the camera operators until literally an hour 5 when there's 25 minutes left in the movie.
Yeah.
It's like right when they take the cameras out of their hands, you're like, oh fuck, like
Oh yeah, you're like, whoa, that guy's really fat.
no,
No,
that guy looks like me.
no, but yeah, I did like
Now
that too.
now I feel represented.
And the mask design I like too. It was like actually pretty effective. Weirdo killer, but I was kind of hoping that he was gonna actually be like undead and like
Yeah.
be able to like fuck around and like teleport and shit or something. I don't know, or like
Well, like you watch the post credits, he pops back up.
yeah.
But he technically is undead.
Well, yeah, I know. That's a good you gotta have the body rise up in a fucking good slasher movie.
Well, I like also like he, contextualizes that because he talks about the whole cardio of everything,
Yeah.
and they have like the sleep deprivation tank to pretend to be dead, and
Oh
then
yeah, dude. When they
Yeah.
walk in on that older guy and he's in that thing underground, it's so fucking funny. It's like, oh, what day? Tuesday? No, dude, it's fucking Thursday. What the fuck? And
In the ISO tank with Joe Rogan underground.
yeah. I like that old man's wife is just like really into the art of it.
she was a final girl. That's the thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a little subtext they kind of
Yeah,
say
that's
it
funny.
because he
That's
says
funny.
she's like, I was fast, wasn't I? And he's like, yeah, you were. So
And then they got married. That's funny as
Yeah.
fuck.
yeah, couldn't
Yeah,
miss
Is,
it.
that's like his final girl that he married, right?
Yeah,
That's
made
funny.
him retire. Yeah,
I didn't catch that.
yeah,
That went over my head a little bit.
yeah.
No.
Like there's a lot to it, just subtext.
what's the who do you okay, what I'm trying to say is of a lot of the major final girls from horror movies, which one do you like the most and which one actually deserved to survive? Because some of them I feel like
The
in
one that
reality they
deserves
shouldn't have
Yeah.
survived.
the one that deserves to survive the most is probably Neve Campbell from Scream because Ghostface is fucking clumsy as shit, and
Yeah.
Neve's fucking like journey into strong badass woman is very well conceived. And as great as she is, Jamie Lee Curtis being iconic and probably the best Scream queen, her character should have probably died. And I think and earlier like the earlier Halloween sequels, I think she did die, but whatever. Retcon shit and bring shit back,
Yeah. Shout out Halloween Ends coming out this Friday.
I forgot
hope
that was coming.
I hope
out.
it's not as bad as Kills, but I don't have any hope.
I still haven't watched Kills, so I don't even know if I'm interested at all.
Watch the extended cut if you do, but it might just be more bad extended. It's just
I was gonna say extend the horrible movie to make it even
it's
more
just
horrible.
it's so poorly written, and then just I have a problem with the kills too, just coming out as like, a fan of just watching people get killed. All he does is like take people's heads and just like bangs them on shit. I'm like, wow, cool, Michael, you fucking idiot. Do something cool.
Also, yeah, it just seems like you didn't have to do this into a trilogy.
Yeah, it could have been 2 films because Kills is certainly a fucking bridge and it's not good. It's so sorry, it's just not good.
I had to kick out so many fucking teenagers last year out of that movie.
What do y'all think about John Wick Chapter 4?
That should have been a trilogy.
Huh?
Yeah, well, more shit. No, here's the thing about John Wick. The third
John Wick 2
one,
and 3 are bridge films. Like,
right? The third one, it has a lot of
such a
cool
bridge.
action, but it doesn't accomplish anything
No.
really.
That's the story. There's no good story in
And
3.
it's like,
But
by
in
the time
4,
it's over, it's like, what?
in
Come
4,
on.
he fights fucking Donnie Yen. So like, I'm just here to see him fight fucking Donnie Yen.
Okay,
like,
well, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna see it.
I think Scott Adkins is also in 4. Like they have a whole lot of people in 4.
But
so I'm excited for as a fan of just great fucking martial arts and gun fu shit like that.
Yeah,
But
I just don't want it to go on too long because it got stale at the end of the third one. It just went on for so long.
I thought 3 was better than 2, but I still think they're not better than 1.
No, two is better.
Two
Yeah,
three?
Sumner he tells me I need to rewatch 2. He's like, dude, that's fucking one of the best.
2 and 3 are just fucking bridge films to.
Nah,
First
two 2 fleshes the world out. I disagree.
It does, but I don't know. I just felt like it still had that lingering sense that it's just building to something more, and then 3 just stalls out.
Well, here's the thing: it would have built to something if 3 was. I mean, this is a John Wick cache, but if 3 was an actual capper, but it's not.
Yeah, that's fair. Did y'all like Nobody? That was really fun.
Oh no, I didn't see it.
That
Bob
is
Odenkirk.
okay.
It's surprisingly fun. Plus, I like Christopher Lloyd and RZA. So
I forget Christopher Lloyd's in that movie.
yeah, him and RZA. So I'm a huge fucking RZA fan. So I like Wu-Tang. So
Lizzo.
yeah, Lizzo. She's Lizzo's fucking action film. Let's do it.
Let's see Lizzo in the Wu-Tang Clan.
Lizzo's gonna be in Fast 10, so
Wait, for real?
Really?
I don't know, probably.
Oh,
What? Here's the thing: I believed you.
Lizzo and Nicki Minaj in Fast 10.
yeah, believable, I guess. Fuck,
They're gonna
Nicki
do that.
Minaj.
They're gonna do the fucking Ocean's 8 to the Fast and Furious franchise at some point, and then just do an all-female family.
We're the sisters.
The sisters of Fast and Furious.
Oh my god, I can see it now. The
Fast sisters. I don't
Here's
know.
the thing, though. This almost makes me
Furious women.
This almost makes me like the slasher genre more because it makes it more believable that the slasher would actually prepare all this stuff and not just
being like a fucking brainless supernatural.
Yeah, and then people being stupid.
Dumb person. Yeah.
I think that's a big problem I have with horror movies. Is just the idiot ball. Like they pass the idiot ball, and then just people are making dumb decisions all the time.
Well, there's that, and there's like no fleshed out like villain, or the villain is just simply evil.
Yeah, a force of nature.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like that though. I like
This gives the movie humanity. So yeah,
it's funny as fuck to me, the escalation in fucking Friday the 13th though, because he's undead, but like,
and then he dies, and then he's undead again.
I know, but like in the second one, he just seems like this big mongoloid redneck with a fucking sack over his head, killing people, and then he dies, and then
he drowns
gets fucking
again,
resurrected by lightning.
Yeah, and then he goes to outer space, and then he gets frozen.
When he's resurrected, he's got like even more super strength.
Yeah, he's got like fucking the power of lightning practically.
He like knocks that guy's head off with his fist,
just
basically
punches it off.
in the eighth one, Manhattan. Yeah. That shit's funny as fuck. Like unstoppable. In fact, I wrote a treatment for Friday the 13th Part 11. Jason Takes L.A.
You did.
And
after we watched all of those together,
yeah, it was like at this point he's like unstoppable. Like thousands of fucking army men, like he's just walking down the street like at them and shit.
And then it just culminates with him like fighting Godzilla.
Well, no, yeah, well, actually,
the Moonmen.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was like they couldn't figure out what to do, so they call up the Midman, who's also unstoppable.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And the treatment had a scene where the Midman, like, he has like a cape on, like Tetsuo and Akira, and he like walks out of the fire and has the fucking music from Akira playing. I've always wanted to do that shot.
It just in the fucking background, like Godzilla and like the Pacific Rim mechs are just like fighting each other.
Yeah, see, that's why I need to become a multimillionaire with the lottery, and then I'll make some shitty fucking crazy movie like that, and then it'll make no money, but I'll be very satisfied.
Yeah. And you'll be blacklisted, but you made something you're happy
fuck
with.
them.
Yeah.
Some people out there would watch Godzilla versus fucking Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, I would certainly.
I
say we do a serious drama film where we resurrect Bergman and Fellini and just have them talk to each other and argue.
No, we have them fucking wrestle. That'd be cooler.
Yeah. Put it in like
oiled up.
Yeah.
Put it in like fucking like Abraham Lincoln times, and they're fighting like in a ring made out of like wood.
No, that's stupid.
And whoever wins or whoever loses has to direct the 6th Avengers movie. That'd be pretty cool. fucking what's that one called? I don't even remember. We got
Which one?
what's it called? King something or the other dynasty. And then what? What's the sixth Avengers movie gonna be called?
Oh, Avengers. Oh, okay. I thought you said the Six Adventures movie. I was like, the what?
Avengers. Anyway.
New Avengers.
Avengers and babysitting.
Yeah, pretty much with all these fucking teenage kids being all the
Is
new.
the next Avengers just going to be like Kamala Khan and She-Hulk?
I don't know who the fuck
Haley
is gonna be.
Steinfeld.
They're probably gonna drag.
That's it. I thought she said Harry Styles. I was like, oh fuck.
Maybe he's in the fucking Eternals.
Yeah, Eros, right?
Whatever. Cash is the expert here.
Thanos' brother, right?
Yeah.
My stuff's freezing now.
Oh.
His name's Star Fox. He's an Eternal. He's got like the main super strength and stuff like that as the Eternals.
You say his name is Star Fox?
Yeah.
It is.
That's his superhero
When
name.
is my Star Fox animated movie coming out? That
when is a good Star Fox video game coming out?
The big thing about Eros is like his special powers. He can secrete a pheromone that makes women want to fuck him.
That's fair.
And in the comic books, he does that one too many times and gets has to go to court over it with She-Hulk as the presiding attorney.
That's great.
It's you should look up. There's a really, really cool like cover art, and it's just Star Fox and like full regalia, like sitting on the stand, and She-Hulk's in front, like really well painted. It's pretty dark. Man coerces women with pheromones and fucks them.
Ugh. I bet that's every fucking Marvel fan's wet dream.
I bet that's Harry Styles in real life.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I already have pheromones that attract women.
I heard that.
Did you get those when you went to Spain? Because we don't have them here in the U.S.
No, everybody has them.
Oh.
I heard that Harry Styles is secretly bald, and then he has like a.
I really hope that's true.
Yeah, like there's like
I think it's.
I
real.
saw like footage that looked like it was like hanging off a little bit.
There's moments in Don't Worry, Darling, where he's like, and then, like his hair is like flopping way too much.
Oh shit!
Like I'm not kidding. Like it's in the movie, and it's like,
oh, that's funny as fuck.
Worse than like my hairline. It feels like there's a scene specifically where he's in the car and he's just screaming "fuck," and his hair is just like doing this.
Here's the thing: hair plugs have come a long way.
Oh, they have.
So
it looks good. I mean, it looks good, but I mean,
if you get a good hair plugs, it's not like the 80s or something where it's sticking out or weird.
Where you skin graft your ass hair to your head.
Yeah, dude, I'll do it.
All
right. I'll pay a poor person to get their hair.
You are
just scalp a poor person.
I'm not a poor person.
You're a poor person.
We're all poor.
I'm a bad person, not a poor person.
If you make less than 70,000 a year, you're poor.
Ah, damn.
Right. I'll see you guys later then.
When Tobias in Arrested Development tries to put in hair plugs and they don't, it's like his body rejects them and they're like they're covered in blood, dude. And he gets sick off of it.
I fucking love that show.
Wheelchair.
That's so fucking gnarly.
I don't know when it was. I think it was like the summer after high school ended when I started watching all that show. And then like going into college, like it was just like that aimless little time where it's like, I don't know what I'm doing next in life. Where I watched that show and it just hits so fucking right. Such a good show.
Whatchamacallit?
The Banana Stand?
I don't remember.
Behind
the Mask is also a documentary about mascots.
Yeah.
Which I almost watched instead of this.
I've seen that. It's not very good.
Oh, is it not?
I thought it was going to be good. Y'all come to the cast.
Made Best in Show and a few other ones, and I really like those. And that one, humor just doesn't work anymore.
It happens.
It's yeah. So how would you kill a group of teenagers, Sam?
Oh, how would I do it?
Yeah.
Just put them in a blender, I guess. I don't know.
Giant novelty-sized blender.
Yeah,
That'd be pretty
they're
cool.
like, I'm like, yeah, standing outside the house. Is like, who wants free beer? And they walk in, and it's just like a blender on its side, and
And they just walk into it.
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about the scene, and y'all probably haven't seen it, but what is that movie? The second Collector movie, whatever the fuck that was called. And there's a scene, the opening scene, like within the first 15 minutes, they're at this rave, and the Collector like has like some fucking like farm equipment that like, you know, fucking obliterates shit they use to like make hay or whatever the fuck. It just comes down and like locks the fucking room up, and it just and it kills like fucking 200 people. And at the time that the movie came out, it like boasted the record for like most kills in like the first 15 minutes of a movie. And it probably still has that record, but it was like the most kills like ever in a horror movie or a slasher movie.
Oh, I thought you were saying a movie. I was gonna be like, have you seen Schindler's List?
Yeah. I saw that one coming.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just fucking nuts. I don't know. I'm not a smart man, so I probably couldn't get away with killing anyone. So I don't really have any ideas for killing a whole
when you were
people.
talking about giant blender, the first thing I thought of was the episode of SpongeBob with the Flying Dutchman, where they make their final wish, and then it turns out they're into fruit, and he chases them around blender. It says fruit prevents scurvy. Yeah. But how would I kill somebody? A group of teenagers? That's a good question. Probably methodically. I'd be too much of a pussy. I'd be wearing like a bulletproof vest and shit, and like be like weird, creepy about it, but not in like I don't know.
Isn't
like
this the time now you tell us about your script, your slasher script?
Oh yeah, I did write a feature that was can't be made now because it's too dated, but
when Keep America Dead.
Yeah, when I was hanging out with Sam a lot that summer, I wrote it. It's called Keep America Dead, and it was like it's like a family, and it's like very soap opera, over the top, weird, surreal, and the daughter is like hyper liberal college student, and her brother is like this fucking incel neckbeard MAGA, Trump supporter who gets fucking all in,
like crazy on the deep web shit of things.
Yeah, and he finds her nudes and shit and blames it on the liberals, turning her into a whore and stuff, and goes crazy, and then he goes on a fucking rampage, but they don't own any guns and stuff, and it's like a tongue-in-cheek kind of fucking thing, but I thought it was pretty good. It's just he goes on a rampage. It like freaks the fuck out when he hears that Donald Trump loses the election in 2020. I wrote this 2 years before, so it turned out to be correct. But
dude, Donald Trump didn't lose the election.
Oh yeah, he's still in there, buddy.
The election was stolen.
It's like to like boil your idea down as kind of like Assassination Nation, like but with like Tucker and Dale versus evil.
But it was like he was killing people, but then it was gonna turn out at the end like this was like a movement that you don't realize, but like with like all the like people unfortunate and shit like came together. It turns out it's been happening all over small towns throughout the US that night, and she like escapes. She kills him, but she escapes, and then she's driving down a long highway, and there's like a figure in the middle of the road that looks like a mannequin, so she stops, and it turns out it's just a trick, and then like hundreds of fucking rednecks all come out of the woods and surround her car and shit. That's how it was gonna end. It was gonna be pretty cool, but
it's a good script.
Cool.
I didn't have the money to make it, but it was gonna be a fun little
but you had the idea.
You didn't have $5 to $10 million lying around.
It wouldn't have cost $5 million.
Hey, but if it did, it'd be really fucking
$11 million.
Fucking sick. Maybe I can do the script now and flip it on its head and make it like satirical, like hyper liberal, crazy, like
The Hunt,
like a movie that would scare the shit out of conservatives if they watched it, because they would think I was being serious about
like the movie The Hunt.
What is The Hunt, Casher?
It was the
that
one that
movie
got
where like they dropped off a bunch of rednecks in the middle of nowhere and they're hunted by a liberal elites.
Yeah,
it
but
got banned. It got banned theatrically, and then like got shelved because
Yeah,
It's
but
not a
who-
good
they were
movie.
afraid it
Fun
was
to
gonna-
watch.
They were afraid it was going to spark like some fucking like class war. Like
oh,
political
they said that
war.
about the Joker too.
Yeah,
But what's the
but the Joker
political
actually came
alignment
out.
of the person who directed that?
Oh, it's satirical.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's like
I have that movie because I got it at like Best Buy for $8 because I was just curious about it. I still haven't watched it yet.
It's a stupid fun.
It
killing
had
stone
so
to
much.
watch
It had so much like press about it that I was like, it can't be good, you know. But I mean, then like I said, it was $8, and like it might be fun. So
I did have a bit in my script where none of them own a gun because they're liberals. So they go into this guy's office and try to 3D print a gun, and over the course of like 3 hours while trying to keep them out of the room and stuff. And it doesn't go well.
there's a bit in the Sadness. Casher, did you ever get around to watching it with a with a 3D printed gun that goes wrong? So
Christ.
he's trying to shoot the fucking rape zombies with the fucking 3D gun.
Fucking rape zombies.
That's what they fucking are.
I know
Rape
that's what they are, but
zombies?
like just that
Yeah.
term.
It's the fucking Z grade, like what, like, because there's another thing about the horror genre and filmmaking. A lot of fucking smut fucking filmmakers that want to make a movie, but also porn will make fucking just this hybrid, just Z grade fucking horror porn shit. And they feature oftentimes they feature zombies that are a little handsy and with the fucking big titted horde, these, you know, porn stars they hire, right? And then somehow it's just a concept of rape zombies that's like so Z grade, but like here we are with a movie on Shudder and Amazon Prime in 2022 that's like maybe a B or C grade rape zombie movie that's actually really fun, but conceptually it's like
That's
what's
so
wrong with the
sleazy.
people it's like what's wrong with the people that make this, or like, you know. But
What's wrong
anyway,
with the people who watch it, Sam?
hey, look, it's got like rave reviews and I wanted to check it out. I
Got
didn't
rape reviews.
rape reviews. Yeah, I didn't feel safe watching it, and I felt bad for the director's mental health. But you know, hey, I also own a Serbian film on Blu-ray, so you know, and
Yeah,
Solo.
that film's just edgy.
Human
Yeah.
Centipede 3.
I have Human Centipede 1 on.
I've seen Human
Blu-ray.
Centipede 2 and 3. They're bad.
I won't own Human Centipede 2 because it has my least favorite scene ever put into film in it.
Ooh, what is it?
A woman in the Human Centipede 2, the titular Human Centipede is pregnant. The woman is.
Yeah.
And
I'm good.
she escapes. Sorry, Casher. She escapes. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. She escapes the Human Centipede and gets into the guy that puts the Human Centipede together, gets into his car, and as she's freaking the fuck out, she gives birth and immediately puts her foot through the baby's skull onto the gas pedal to like fucking get the fuck out of there.
I'm good.
It made me sick. It made me sick.
Yeah, see, shit like that shouldn't be made, I feel. That's stupid.
It made me
Nah.
sick. And I was like,
That shit's awesome.
it's my least favorite scene of any fucking
Yeah,
movie ever.
I understand why.
But
It's
Human
not. It's
Centipede 1
on.
is
What
actually
bothers me
really
more
good.
is when they put like a beer bong funnel in the dude's ass and put a centipede down there, so he has a centipede crawling in his butt.
Yeah.
That's
There's a lot of fucked
more
up shit.
bothersome because
The thing, I mean, and then the thing about Human Centipede 3 though
Can we
is it doesn't
not?
capture Human Centipede
Fuck
3
the
doesn't
Human
capture
Centipede
anything
movies.
from the first two. So
God.
Human Centipede
is
3,
just
he's
boring.
full on up his own ass.
And it's just boring. Yeah, and he fucking he goes like meta with it and shit. Yeah.
Even the second one's meta, man.
Yeah, it's super meta. Tom Six is a sick individual and needs help, and his
He
wife
is.
for fucking producing his movies.
I don't know.
too.
I've seen interviews
Fuck
with him. He
her.
seems down to earth though.
Yeah, I would like to see. Here we go. I'd like to see Tom Six and damn, what's the dude? Oh fuck, what's his name? The dude that made
James
like
Cameron.
like Blubberella. No, the dude that made Blubberella. That's
Oh,
fucking
Uwe
filmmaker.
Boll.
Uwe Boll, yeah. I want to see Uwe Boll and fucking Tom Six in like a boxing match because Uwe Boll loves to box people that disagree with him.
Oh man, I respect Tom Six way more than Uwe Boll. Uwe Boll just like
Probably
all of his films were just tax scams anyway.
Yeah. There we go. Can we have a Uwe Boll podcast?
No,
No, I don't.
never.
No.
Blubberella is my least favorite movie I've ever seen. So thanks Uwe Boll for that.
He filmed that simultaneously with a Blood Rain movie just so he could save on not reconstructing sets.
Yeah,
like he would just like film 2 scenes of 2 different movies to save on production.
If we want to talk about a shit movie, but it's got to be a movie that actually has heart and soul put into it and still turns out like shit, not just some fucking bullshit ass.
Yeah, that's like saying we should review like corporate training videos.
Wait, so you're saying we should watch and review Neil Breen movies?
Yeah, no, those are just too boring.
Overdone.
You don't like Double Down?
I could watch 10 minutes of Neil Breen, but I don't want to watch 2 hours or 90 minutes.
Here's the thing. I think Neil Breen and Tommy Wiseau need each other to make a film together.
No. Tommy Wiseau.
Dude, we could get Neil Breen on this cast.
The Room.
I'm sure we could get Neil Breen on the cast.
The Room is entertaining.
The Room is great.
I love that movie. Neil Breen's movies are fucking so boring that you're looking at your phone the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, did you finish watching Best Friends?
No.
It's good. I like both parts. I would recommend.
I do want some Tommy Wiseau underwear.
I'm still waiting for a Big Shark. I have Tommy Wiseau underwear.
Oh, cool.
And a signed copy of The Room.
I have a signed copy of Tommy Wiseau's underwear.
Yeah. If we ever do a room cast, we can use that picture of you with him and Greg as like the profile picture.
Yeah, that works.
That fucking rules.
It's the fucking damnedest like just coincidence in my entire fucking life.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else to say about Behind the Mask.
We talked about it half of this episode, which is
I want to take a moment to thank our sponsor, me. I wrote a fucking book that's coming out in fucking November. Look forward to that, people. It's coming. And they watch The Room in the fucking book too. That's how it ties in. That's with The Room. Yeah. They do they go to a midnight screening of it and shit. So, which I've always wanted to do. Throw spoons in, screen. I've also never gone to a Rocky Horror show.
What about a fucking Phantom of the Paradise midnight screening?
Hey, fucking find me one. I'll go see it.
I would just have to go to Canada where it's actually more popular.
I also want to go to a Suspiria showing with Goblin doing the score live.
That would be dope.
That would be sick. Anyway, I think that wraps up our Behind the Mask discussion, which was about horror tropes, but also just, horror in general. Thanks for listening, folks. Next week will be the Evil Dead trilogy, which I've been itching to talk about since 2 years ago when we started the podcast. So that'll be fun as fuck because y'all know Sam Raimi's my fucking boy. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.